It's Wednesday. It's 8 p.m. I'm Daz.
I'm Rich.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Martin. It's loaded football. Run the intros, Daz.
You're the joker, the expert, the voice, but you're one of the crowd. A vision of weakness you don't.
Well,
I love that. I was hoping you were going to say, well, I'll just love it.
it's kind of become my thing. It's been like Bruce.
It is.
Give us a spin, Anthea. It's kind of become my thing. But I suppose, on a good front, at least your daughter wasn't here playing music on YouTube like she was last week, Christopher.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I know, it was so funny. I was like getting ready. I was like, who's got the music on? But that was good. So here we are yet again, boys. I will apologize to anybody that's watching now because I am in the busiest hallway in my house, under the stairs, like a fat Harry Potter. Same glasses, and I have got a scar somewhere. But my kids are out being socially distanced correctly, if anybody's asking. Playing with all the other kids out the front, and then they haven't come in yet. So when they do, it's going to be like a train going through fucking Piccadilly. So they'll be in at some point. So I do apologise for the mess, the stupid faces, and probably some dumb questions. And that's just the panel. But anyway, how are we, boys?
All good, Martin. All good. I think that fat Harry Potter could make its way into a picture next week.
It could.
So keep that in mind.
It's all about the angles. It's all about the angles.
Right, yeah.
Oh, good, yeah. So what's going on? Oh, there we go. Look, we're getting questions. Hello,
boys. I'm going to jump in here, and I'm going to tell you, we've all got it. Well, as you all know, we've got a game on tonight, haven't we? It's an England's qualifier. So England have got a qualifier tonight against Poland, and at the moment we're 18 minutes in, and it's 0-0. I've got to be honest. I was saying to the lads before the show, I'm not the biggest England fan in the world. I've got to be honest. But I'm going to keep you all up to date on that. And with Lewandowski being out for Poland, hopefully you'd think it'd be a nice, easy England win. But let's see.
Well, I think that's what Ireland thought last night when they played the mighty Qatar. Apparently, rumor has it, allegedly Ben Jacobs was up front for Qatar. So they say, but that's neither been denied or agreed. But 1-1 with Qatar. I don't know what's going on with Stephen Kenny. I can't see him last much longer. Daz, can you?
No.
I think he'd be gone.
I thought it'd be kind of a rebuilding job, but I didn't think it'd be this slow.
Yeah, he hasn't really rebuilt. Construction's been closed in Ireland for 10 months, and that's been quicker rebuild than Stephen Kenny, to be fair.
What was the last result, lads? It wasn't a good one, was it?
Got beat 1-0 off Luxembourg.
The mighty Luxembourg.
Yeah,
wow.
Luxembourg and Qatar. There's names that spring off the bat.
Lads, England have got a penalty. Harry Kane's about to take it.
Okay, let's stick with that. So.
Let's go live with that. It's good to know Chris is on the goals, but Richie beaten to it. Well done.
I was watching it. I'm only joking.
Every week.
Goal. Harry Kane, straight down the middle.
Harry Kane. His legs are still gone, though, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Goal.
Let's get on with the show, lads. Let's go. Let's forget about that. Okay, I think it's time for a bit of loaded headlines. Okay, there's a few stories I want to bring you this week, lads. First being Aguero. So Aguero, he is to leave City at the end of the season. His contract expires. He'll be 33 in June. He's been at City for 10 seasons. He scored 257 goals in 384 games to date, because he's going to stick with them for the rest of the season, obviously. He's the highest overseas goal scorer in the Premier League history. He's the club's records goal scorer. He scored 12 hat-tricks in the Premier League as well. Injuries and COVID haven't stood on this year. He joined City when they were starting to rebuild in 2011, and I think we'll all remember this goal, the Aguero goal against QPR, where they clinched the title for the first time. And then they're actually going to build a statue in Man City firm, and that's to go along with one for company and for David Silva they're building as well. And then last bit to add into this before we start talking about it is who would replace him. And my money's on this man, Haaland. And can you see him in a City jersey? Well, he's actually been in a City jersey before. Obviously, his dad played for City. So that's our first topic, lads. What do you think, Aguero? Where do we end up with that?
That Haaland one, that last one. Now that's not a great pause, is it?
That's the only picture.
That's a bit ropey, lads.
Yeah.
Anyone listening to us on radio mightn't have. We
do need to start. We do need to start putting some of these up on the web, because we were laughing about this on Saturday. We were listening back to, obviously, it was our first session on Away Day Radio on Saturday. Me and Daz and Richy, a few of the boys were listening in, and we were talking about stuff very non-descriptive, and me and Daz, the rest of us were sitting listening to the radio, and we were going, man, that doesn't really translate to radio, does it? We were talking about pictures and all sorts. So we will try and be better this week, but that was not a great pause from Hal. It looks like he must have been watching like History X or something there in that picture. We'll put that picture up on our Twitter later on.
It's his face, isn't it? And the way he's got his legs spread.
Yeah.
Just give the viewers that picture in their head. Yeah.
It's kind of like, I'm not sure if I want to murder you or whether I'm ready to hop you. That's one of those two.
Back to the football, lads.
Back to the football. I'll start. First comment. Aguero is a great goal scorer. However, I've seen loads of polls, loads of comments these last few days. He is no Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer is by far the best Premier League goal scorer there has ever been, ever will be. End of story. That's that bit dealt with. Aguero, absolutely best, probably one of the best foreign imports, along with David Silva, I would say, to ever grace the Premier League. Best Premier League moment by far when Martin Tyler did the whole Aguero bit 4 minutes into her injury time. One of the best Premier League pictures and pieces of history, I think, that defined the Premier League. I think injuries have hampered him. I think. Do we know where he's going?
No,
not yet. No.
I wonder, is he going to go back to Atletico?
Spain, yeah.
Could be.
Like Costa did.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's been fantastic for the Premier League. 10 seasons. Normally, foreign imports don't normally do that long. So yeah, look, he is a Premier League great. He'll be sorely missed. I think obviously if you're from Newcastle, you won't miss him because he was a bloody scourge. Always scoring against us. So yeah, good riddance.
Wow.
On one hand, but yeah, cracking servant to Manchester City, great goal scorer, and wish him all the very best wherever he goes.
Yeah. Do you know what, Mars? I think he sums it up really perfectly there. I think if you ask most football fans, and this is not just Man City fans, just any football fans, where were you when Aguero scored that goal? And I think everyone will tell you they'll remember, because it was just. I remember I was in a pub in Birkdale, which isn't far from where I live, and I remember that exact moment when he scored, and the whole pub was just like, "Whoa, what have we just seen?" Like even now talking about it, I've got the hairs just standing up on the back of my neck. Like I can't believe that you were literally. Martin Tyler said, didn't he, you'll never see anything like it again, and I don't think you will. It was just unbelievable. And my mates...
I was in a black and white shirt in Dicey O'Reilly's bar in Puerto Rico, Gran Canaria, surrounded by Manx of both blue and red persuasion. And obviously when City scored and it blew Man United's Premier League title, was a tad rough in the bar.
It was unbelievable, mate. Absolutely, it really was. And I look back at that moment and just think, how great that was at the time, being able to like witness it and say I've seen it. And funnily enough, my friend's a Man City fan and he's got a season ticket, and I still give him stick over it now, because he was actually at that game and he walked out when they were, I think they were 2-0 down.
Yeah. There was loads more, wasn't there? I think that was one of the things. That was a bigger write-up, I think, the following day than the actual win. There was something like 6,500 had left the ground. Yeah. At whatever it was, at 2-2, and literally were outside the turnstiles and heard the goal go in and weren't let back in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Crazy.
He left, and he was walking down the steps, and I think he heard a cheer, and he thought, oh, we had 2-1. Then he started walking up, and then he got in the taxi, and then as he was in the taxi, it was 2-2. And then he made his way back to the stadium, and by the time they let him back in, and as he was going up the steps, the third went in, and he said, "I'll never, ever, ever forgive myself for doing it. But yeah, in terms of Aguero as a an overall striker, yeah, absolutely fantastic. I couldn't agree more with Mart on that, and one of the Premier League greats. The only thing I'd say, yeah, I agree with you as well, Mark. On the Shearer shout, and that's not me just being biased towards obviously I'm a Newcastle fan, but Shearer for me is the greatest. He's the greatest Premier League striker. End of. And last thing I'll say is I think he will end up either in America, into Miami.
Into Miami,
and I wouldn't blame him. Wouldn't blame him.
Yeah.
Or I think he will go back to Argentina. Maybe, to Boca Juniors. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's where I think he'll go. And why not? He's done all his hard work. He may as well go and enjoy himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He's money made.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, very good on FIFA as well.
Very.
Yeah. He's been a phenomenal for not just Man City, but I think for the Premier League as well. He's as everyone said, the season when Man City won the Premier League for the first time. I think, as you said, you all seem to remember where you were at that time when he does it, and that's always great when people like that leave everlasting memories from football, whether it's your team or not. And he's done it pretty much every single season with City. Obviously, the last couple of seasons he's been a little bit more injury prone, so he hasn't scored as many as he had. There was talk when he first came and he was banging the goals in. Could he be a threat to Alan Shearer's goal scoring record? But once again, another one that's fallen down by the wayside as well. I believe he will. I think he'll go back to Argentina. I know his family's still over there. So he'll probably want to go spend some time with them and finish his career out over there. So I wouldn't be surprised to go back to somewhere like Boca Juniors, River Plate, somewhere like that. But going back to the way we were talking about the best ever striker in the Premier League, got to agree with Martin and Chris. I saw a poll yesterday on Twitter that I mentioned in our WhatsApp chat, and I thought it was absolutely scandalous that the pool of four options was Aguero, Henry, Rooney, and Suarez. Now, to me, Suarez doesn't even get in the top 5, let alone the top 4. But to leave our man Alan Shearer out, who is, I believe, 58 goals ahead of it's Wayne Rooney in second place, it's going to be very, very hard to catch that. To be able to, if it said greatest ever forward in the Premier League, that's a bit different to be a striker. Alan Shearer was an out-and-out goal scorer. He was the definition of a striker. And to leave him out of that was absolutely scandalous. And the only reason I can think of it, because he wasn't part of a big 6 club like Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and stuff like that. That's the only reason I can see.
Yeah. The other reason was Darren Bent did part of the poll and he's a Mackham. So anyway.
I thought you were going to say something worse than Mackham then, Matt.
Is there anything worse? Only
Obviously, I'd agree with you, lads, on what you said on Shearer. I could see him going to the likes of Argentina or maybe back to Atletico as well. What I'll miss him for as well is especially last couple of years, is my fantasy football team. So I was trying to get him in as well. And also, Chris, I know you like your bets back, I don't know, about 6 or 7 years ago, could have been my last football bet, was there was a bet where you put on top goal scorer and you put on €20 and every time your player scored a goal, you got €2 a free bet. So it was a winner. It paid for itself, let's say. So I'm missing for things like that too. But that's Aguero. I think it's time to move on, lads. Let's go on to the next topic, which crack on. The Women's Super League. Yeah, so there's been a TV deal with the Women's Super League. So both BBC and Sky have signed up to a deal. So Sky are going to put on 44 matches, and BBC 1 and 2 are going to put on between 18 and 22 matches live. So it's a great deal for the Women's League. To be honest, I don't know an awful lot about it, but I did a bit of research on it. This is Chloe Kelly for Man City, Alicia Russo for Man United, and Valerie Gavin for Everton. And they're kind of, when this picture was taken anyway, they were performing really well this season.
Gabon's a quality striker.
Yeah.
That's topic 1 we're going to talk about. And actually, as well, there's another bit to this here. The split between the let's say the Women's Super League and the league below that is going to be 75-25. So they're giving some to the league below that as well, the second tier, let's say. So that's good.
Okay.
That's first thing I want to talk about. Second thing I want to talk about is the first female ref in the English Football League. So this is Rebecca Welch. So she's taken charge of Harrogate against Port Vale this weekend, I think. So she's the highest ranking female ref in English football. Based on reviewing her performances, Mike Riley and Mike Jones give her the nod to take charge. So that's great news as well. And sticking it, and I want to put in another. This is a triple header. This topic. I want to throw in the information around Stephanie Farpart. Now, I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but those French-speaking colleagues in the chat can correct me, I'm sure. So Stephanie took part in a World Cup qualifying match. So she was a ref in that. Obviously, you can see her there giving the yellow card to Luc Dion. And Netherlands won that 2-0 against Latvia. And I think she refed a Champions League match before. So there was 3 topics, lads. What's your thoughts on that?
Personally, I think it's about time. I think especially after the success of the Women's World Cup a couple of years ago, especially having it on mainstream telly, it brought a lot of publicity. It's increased grassroots level interest from loads of girls who want to get it. And also I'm part of a youth football club in Chester Street where I am, and we're lucky enough to actually have some girls teams which formed because of the World Cup. So now to have a TV deal which can take that league, the levels it can go with the amount that they've done is absolutely it'll be phenomenal for both sets of league. And it's nice to hear that obviously the WFL 1 will get 25% of the TV money as well. Obviously we've got Durham up here, which are always battling out for promotion to the Super League itself. So that would be fantastic for their development and push on. Because they've only been missing out by coming second or third every year. So that's something that's fantastic for the women's game in full stop. Regarding to the officials, obviously, with Rebecca Welch becoming the first appointed EFL, it's not the first time a female's actually refereed the game. In 2010, there was the fourth official. I didn't make a note of the name, unfortunately, but the referee actually got injured in the game and she came on and refereed the rest of the game. But the reason why Rebecca Welch makes more of a headline is because it's the first time she's been appointed to be the major match official, which is still a fantastic achievement itself. And I think one of the things that she actually said, which means a lot, is she wants her refereeing to go unnoticed, which I think's fantastic to be saying something like that. She knows that she's a trailblazer and she's going to be setting there. She's going to be people looking up for her. She mentioned how she was she idolised Sean Massey, who was the first female assistant referee. Who's she does a lot of the Premier League games now as well, and having her in her corner and giving her advice and stuff, which is fantastic. Then also to see the fact that a female referee can be good enough to referee a World Cup qualifier, a men's World Cup qualifier. It's as we said before. It's about time. If they're good enough, it shouldn't matter what sex they are.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well
said, Richie.
Yeah, Rich, you know what, mate? It's really hard to follow that, mate, because you're absolutely spot on what you say. I mean, it's long overdue. I think it's something, that the game's kind of been crying out for in a way, because, it should be equal, and it should be, that we should have more women representing
diversity.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. And do you know what? Sean Massey, when she came in as linesman, or lines lady, should I say, when she came in, I remember there was a big media furore over it.
Outcry,
yeah. That what you've just said then, Rich, about she wants to go unnoticed, and she doesn't want to cause a scene. That's exactly what Sean Massey's done, and I've got to say, Sean Massey is definitely one of the better lines people. So many times you see linesmen getting it wrong, and Sean Massey, well, you see how many times she does it now, and she's absolutely fantastic. I can't actually recall, even before VAR, ever seeing any howlers that Sean Massey did, but other linesmen, they were getting a lot of stick. So I think it's great that this is happening, and long may it continue, and let's hope that we push the barriers even more going forward.
Exactly, and I've held Andrew's comment here because, I wonder how long it will take before we see a female ref in the Premier League. So let's hope Rebecca, it all goes well for her, and we see her moving up the leagues as well. So best of luck.
Exactly.
So
just in that WSL, just in case for those. So current top 5 at the minute is Chelsea in first place on 47, Manchester City in second on 45 points. Both Chelsea and Man City have won their last 5. Man United are in third with 38, so quite a considerable gap to City and to Chelsea. Arsenal in fourth with 35, and Everton in fifth with 28. And propping up the table with a handy 9 points is West Ham.
Okay, I have a question because I don't have an awful lot of knowledge in the space. Are Newcastle in that second tier then? Newcastle.
Yes.
No.
Oh.
Are they not?
No.
I thought they were.
No. The only one that's in the northeast is Durham.
Hmm.
I'll tell you actually. Here's an interesting fact for you: that Chesley Street Town women's team have actually beaten Newcastle and played them quite often as well.
Wow.
That's the gulf between the WSL and how little our team actually put into the ladies' game, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. And just on the ladies' games, if you are watching and we start to get a few bits of traction on the ladies' game, I did send a message to Becky Langley, who is the manager of Newcastle United women's team, and I've asked her to come on the show and talk about all things women's football, where she sees the game going, and to Richie's point, where does she see, how does she see the game changing with more women in football and all that. So haven't had anything back as yet. Probably, to be fair, I'll chance my arm and send her a DM. But if there is anybody out there that does have any connections with Newcastle United women's, get in touch, give us a shout. We'd love to have Becky or somebody connected with the club come on and talk to us about, or any other team, to be fair.
Yeah,
Chelsea,
absolutely.
Man City, or anybody, if there's anybody connected with the Women's Football League and the Super League, give us a shout. We'd love a player, or we'd love a manager, or anybody else that wants to come on and inform us. Tell us a bit more about it. We don't know loads.
Yeah.
So it's give us a shout out if anybody in the Women's League would love to pop on Load of Football and talk to us about it.
And Martin, that segues nicely into our next topic.
You see where I was going there, didn't you?
It's like we rehearsed it, but we don't. We rehearse nothing.
Exactly.
We're looking to get to put on a show.
That, but I tell you what, Anton Deck, watch out. Never mind this virtual panel rubbish on a Saturday night, I tell you.
So I want to tell you about what's coming up on this channel, Loaded HQ. We're bringing out a new show. And maybe I'll just run the promo. Is that okay with everybody?
Absolutely, mate.
Absolutely. Yeah. Run it.
Tune.
So that is coming soon. It's actually
soon. Yeah.
Tune. But not on Zoom.
Yeah.
It's coming on Friday, 8 p.m. on Friday. You don't have to wait long to catch that first show. Who wants to talk a bit about it? Do we know what's happening in it yet? I know the first one we're going to be kind of just kind of launching it, and we're going to be asking really what people. Okay, and we can put this out now as well. And you know what our what Twitter is. Send us a tweet. What would you like to see in it? Because we're kind of working through ideas, and we're going to like this show. We evolved it over time. We saw what didn't work, what worked, and. Now
we've made no changes since.
we don't listen to anybody. But yeah, we do our own thing. But yeah. Look, we're open to ideas. We want to make it enjoyable for everybody. So
yeah, I suppose I'll lead in. I think the thing, obviously we started off the back of Steve Wraith's channel, doing the international shows, and Richy came along and a few others. We've really enjoyed doing that. We started up, obviously loaded football. Chris came on board, Richy came on board. The four of us really enjoy, I think, not only football, chatting, and I think, to be fair, I think the four of us enjoy spending time together, if that's a fair comment.
Yeah.
We get on well. We've got the same kind of interests. So,
no
the one
choice
thing,
now.
yeah, no choice. Yeah, exactly. One of the things, obviously,
stupid
is
humor as well.
Yeah, stupid humor. Yeah, exactly. Which is why we do no planning. But obviously, we've got to. Anybody that's watched these shows knows, and anybody that follows us knows, we've got a common love of Newcastle United. So, one of the things with this show is that we didn't want it to be all about Newcastle United, but we also don't want to lose our roots and not be able to put out a show where we talk about the club that we love. So we are gonna run the show. Oh, Chris is gone. It's not even his fucking segment.
I know.
And he's gone. He's like, yeah, I've got an idea. Boop, gone. So we are going to run the show, and I think Daz is right. There are a lot of Newcastle United podcasts and shows out there, and we do want to be a bit different. We enjoy just sitting chatting. One of the things that we've thought about is, obviously, you've got a pretty dire era at the moment with Ashley's tenure, and we want to try and steer away from that. Oh, hang on, he's back. All right, mate. 50 cents in the meter.
Sorry, mate.
Very good. Yeah, we got the kid downstairs, turn the handle. Well done. Yeah, he's on the spin bike. Chris has got it hooked up to his internet. Oh, it's gone again. Look,
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Pedal harder. 80 RPMs. But yeah, so we want to keep the show, kind of ad lib like we are now. It's just kind of us sitting chatting about all things Newcastle. But we do want to cover stuff like the Newcastle United women's team. We want to cover the under-23s. We want to cover a bit of nostalgia, all those kind of things. But as Daz said, we do want people to get involved with us. So if you're watching the show, if you follow the four of us on Twitter, DM us, drop a line. What would you like to see in a pod or in a Newcastle show that isn't out there? And look, we'll look at anything. We'll try anything. But you tell us what you'd like to see on a show. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see? Is it quizzes? Is it player? Is it player focus? Is it a live match? What do you want to see from us guys on a Newcastle show? What do I look like? Fucking O2. Sorry,
apologies to anyone listening on radio.
I tell you,
Quietest room in the house.
It is, yeah. I'm gonna move when we make it famous. I tell you, I'm moving from the hallway to a dungeon or somewhere.
To the shed. The shed.
Have you seen the phone? I mean, in fairness, do you know what? Today's youth, tomorrow's employment, lads. I tell you, the world is in ruins. In ruins. But anyway, yes, that's kind of
you're getting a yellow card for that, Martin.
Oh, yeah.
One more, you're off.
That is that's my spiel on the show. I'm looking forward to being part of it. Hopefully we can get people involved, fewer interaction and everything else, because I think that really works. And it'll be good to get other. But yeah, look, that's my view. I mean, what do the rest of you think?
Chill out.
I can't chill out. You know what I mean? Until you've sat in my position under the stairs, Andrew, you have no idea the stress levels. None.
To be fair, Martin, I've got an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old, and I can completely sympathise with you. So
timing, man, timing.
Martin, yeah. I wonder would partitions behind you and the side of you help? It could really help you there.
No, it would just be the removal of all my children.
That's a better one.
Okay, Chris, over to you.
Feel free to talk, Chris. Whenever you want.
We're talking about the new show.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was waiting for me loaded football. That's what.
No.
I was waiting for me loaded leaderboard. Sorry, boys. Yeah. So no, I'm like Martin's just said, really excited for the show. A lot of work's gone in, certainly to the intro. Not so much the show, but a lot of. You know what? I was sitting to myself the other day, and I was listening to the tune. I was like, "Oh, it's great!" This, and then my wife said, oh, sounds really good. Sounds great. What are you going to be talking about? And I went, I don't know. I said, I think we're just going to talk Newcastle. And she was like, yeah, but what's the plan? And I was like, there isn't a plan. We're just going to go.
We kind of have a set. We kind of have a little bit of a plan. We have a rough idea.
It's very vague. It's very
agree with
vague.
your wife, Chris. That worries me as
Vague
well.
is good. Yeah, but look,
We've raised the bar.
Exactly. We've opened it up to people. We've said, get involved. Tell us what you want to see, and we'll have a look about bringing it into the show. So let's make it viewer interactive. What do you want to see?
Yeah. Do you know what? The most important thing, and I think Martin was kind of alluding to it, is that, you know, we want to be different. We want people to just be able to sit, watch, and enjoy it. We don't want to be too scripted. I mean, obviously, with with these shows, we like to keep the viewers entertained, and we like to have a little bit of a structure. But certainly for the Newcastle shows, we just want to, just talk like normal fans would do in a pub. We just want to talk and just, generally moan about Newcastle. Hopefully we won't be moaning
exactly.
too long.
I think we want to bring news and stuff like, if a takeover happens or if there's something going on with Bruce or whatever. But I don't particularly want to bring people a show where we sit and talk about Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce for an hour because it's bad enough. So I think, let's open it up, but let's bring something fresh and a bit of vibe, bit of nostalgia. Let's look at players of bygone eras, build a loaded 11 and all that kind of stuff. Be good.
We're going to go to you next, Richie. Just want to say my first question to Paul at Junction when they join will be to Matt. And my question would be, what is he eating? Because I can see him. He's in the green room and he's laughing. I'm not meant to say that. Sorry.
If it's chicken nuggets, lads, I'm out. It's not going to work. Yeah, exactly.
But we'll get you on Matt in a little while. He's hiding now. But Richie, sorry, over to you on Loaded Mag.
Yeah, there's not much we can really add about to what the lads have already said. I think we want to keep it different. At the end of the day, our club was formed in 1892. It hasn't been just the last 13 years with under Mike Ashley and the depression. It's not just about the entertainers of the mid-90s. Do you know what I mean? So there is plenty of other fantastic things that have happened to this club since we've been formed. And the one thing we're going to do is it's not always going to be us four. We're going to open it up so there might be two of us and have a couple of extra guests that, we're going to keep it fresh every single week. So obviously we'll be still doing the specials if something comes up that's big at a certain time. We'll do an ad-lib show on one of them. But it's literally, we want to do this show for our enjoyment, but for your enjoyment, with your input as well. And that's one of the main things that was the driving force behind this show. It's about our viewers and subscribers and their mutual love for the club that we love. And they need to be involved in the show as well. So, plenty of topic in the talk in the chat. We can pick up stuff and just go from there. We don't really care to talk about everyone. It's not just us four. It's the the NUFC, fans completely.
Exactly, Richie. Thanks, Richie. And I'm just gonna, because we're going to move on to the next section. I just want to show you the cover for the show, and I'll remove the banner as well so you can see it properly. So the show is happening this Friday at 8:00. So come along, join us, and subscribe and. Let's see how it goes. And Martin, I think you wanted to mention something else about the show.
Did I? I did.
Yes,
that's true.
I think you did.
So obviously, last week we made an announcement of a partnership with Away Day Radio. You can see little Richie up there in the top right-hand corner. But if you look down towards the middle there, Daz, if you just want to throw the other one up.
No, I'm going to go for the main one, Martin.
Okay, go for it, Daz. Go for it.
There he is.
So, Centre Ale. So, we haven't even put the show out yet, but we have a show sponsor. A big shout out and a massive, massive thank you to an ex-colleague of mine, Bruce Rennick, who owns the Centre Ale shop in Newcastle Central Station, hence the play on name there. Craft beers, all kinds of fantastic ales in the shop, right on the platform there in Newcastle Central Station, has kindly anteed up and offered to sponsor Loaded Mag. So he will be doing a few bits and pieces for us, some gift packs, some craft ale giveaways, and a few other bits and pieces. If you are living in Newcastle, get yourself in. They are open. I will throw a picture up on my Twitter later on today or tonight even of the opening hours there for Centre Ale. They're in there. Go in there. They've got some cracking beers. A lot of Northeast beers in particular. Some Tyne Brew and other stuff. Go in there. Pick yourself up some absolutely canny beers. And Bruce and the guys in there will look after you. So, yeah, delighted. Ex-colleague of mine, but absolutely brilliant. And to have not only a Newcastle show, but a Newcastle sponsor is just unbelievable. Yeah. So delighted.
Did you say that? Did you say his name's Bruce?
Yep. Right.
Sponsored by
I'm
Bruce.
just thinking Steve Bruce. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe
It's not that Bruce. It's actually a nice Bruce.
a nice Bruce. Good.
Yeah, it's a Bruce who has
do a better job than Steve Bruce as well.
A Bruce who can do a far better job,
absolutely.
has a plan, and has executed his plan well. But I've known, I suppose, just a little bit of background as we move on. I've known Bruce for about 20 plus years. We worked together when we both worked for Asda a long time ago, over 20 years ago. And he was one of the guys that taught me my trade as a very, very young warehouse operations manager. Many moons ago, we spent about 4 years together on nights learning me trade. So yeah, I owe not only a debt of gratitude, but he's now looking after me, I suppose, in the afterlife. So yeah, look, delighted to have him on board. He's a cracking fella. And again, look, get into Central Station and go and have a look at the shop. And he just tell him I sent you, and he will look after you. And it's a cracking. So yeah, he's gonna throw up a few bits and pieces. So really looking forward to that progressing Unloaded Mag from Friday. So yeah, tune in.
Perfect. Lads, I think we're going to have to move on because Ben has joined as well. He's in the green room. Welcome, Ben. Yeah. We're going to get you in 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to fly through, might be 10 minutes. Time for Chris.
Loaded leaderboard.
Thank you, Chris. And I'm going to call out the scores in the leaderboard this time, just so for people listening on radio on Saturday can see what they are. So it haven't changed from last week. Martin is at the top on 51, closely followed by Chris on 50. I'm catching up on 47, Daz, and Richy is at 46. So it's still all to play for, lads. And we're going to go straight into the fixtures for this week and talk us through it, right, Chris?
Okay, yeah.
So you need to really rattle through these, boys.
I will. Do you know what? I've missed doing the fixtures, so I have been looking forward to this. Okay, so first game, boys. We've got Chelsea at home to West Brom. I'm going easy here. Chelsea win.
Chelsea win.
Chelsea win.
Clean sweep. Chelsea win.
Full house. Well done, boys. Okay, next game. Leeds at home to Sheffield United. I'm going to say Leeds home win.
Agreed. Leeds. Yep.
Leeds for me.
Yep. Full house.
Apollo Junction will be happy with that. Okay, we've got Leicester at home to Manchester City. I'm going to say draw.
Ooh, Leicester win.
City win for me.
Yeah, City win for me as well.
Okay, boys. Next one, we've got Arsenal at home to Liverpool. I'm going to say Liverpool away win.
Draw.
Draw for me.
Ooh. I want to go Liverpool. I need to catch up.
Good man. Okay. Then on Sunday we've got Southampton at home to Burnley. I'm going to say Southampton home win.
Draw. Sorry.
Burnley for me.
And I'll go with Martin. I think it'll be a draw.
Okay. Then the game we're all looking forward to. It's Newcastle at home to Spurs. I'm going to say draw.
Spurs.
Draw.
Well in, Mitch. Okay. Then we've got Aston Villa at home to Fulham. Nice, easy one. Villa home win.
Oh, I know what I'd love to say, but I won't. Draw.
Villa for me as well.
Yeah, Villa for me.
Okay. Then we've got Man United at home to Brighton. And that's a Man United home win for me.
Yeah, me too.
And make that 3, Man United as well.
Another full house.
Fantastic. And then we've got Everton. This is on Monday. We've got Everton at home to Palace. I'm going to say Everton home win.
Draw.
Everton for me.
And I'm going to go again with Martin. I think it'll be a draw.
Okay, and then the last game that we've got is Wolves at home to West Ham. I'm going to say draw.
West Ham win.
West Ham win.
And a West Ham win for me as well.
Ooh, wow. Okay, boys. And also, while I've got that little gap, I just want to say England, I can confirm it's half time, and England are still winning 1-0 at home to Poland, for anyone who's listening or watching.
Cheers, Chris. Martin, I think now it's time for a little word from our sponsors.
Yes, it's a night of sponsors, isn't it? Obviously, Mind, Body and Soul, Adam and the guys out there at Mind, Body and Soul who've been looking after us so well for the last month and so. They run a web and phone ring-in Twitter that deals with men's mental health. Do an absolutely sterling job, and in particular in recent weeks have been doing a lot online where they have been donating money to those people that need it in current times. As the flyer says there, remember, you are not alone. Reach out, help at Mind, Body, Soul UK. Onto the web, www.mindbodysoul.uk. You can find them on Insta, Twitter, and Facebook. Reach out to us if you need to. Our DMs are always open. If you're struggling, we'll put you in touch with Adam and the guys at Mind, Body, and Soul. If you get onto the website, you will see they do a range of merchandise from mugs, pin badges, beanies, masks, T-shirts, hoodies, a whole range of stuff. They've just been quantified as a full non-profit charity. Everything they do, everything they sell, everything they raise goes to help other people. So absolutely delighted with their continued sponsorship. Did talk to them last week over a couple of things because their sponsorship was due to end back end of April. But the good news is, just on the sponsorship front, is that Mind, Body and Soul have continued to stick with us here at Loaded Football Weekly and a sponsorship for the channel for the foreseeable future. So listen, Adam, guys, everybody at Mind, Body and Soul, massively appreciated. So thank you very much, because they were the first people to actually give us an opportunity. So we owe them a huge debt of gratitude, as I'm sure a lot of other people do. So follow them on Twitter, get involved, get on the website and get yourself a little treat and help out those that do need it, please. It'll be greatly appreciated.
Do fantastic work, don't they? Absolutely fantastic work. Some of the tweets they send out were absolutely great. So,
it's constant. The guys are up early in the morning, and I'm not trying to big that up or anything else, but they are constantly promoting, pushing, helping people out, making phone calls. The work that the guys do there is unbelievable. I didn't realize how much goes into it until I spoke to Adam and the guys, and it's unbelievable.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks for that. I think it's time to move on, lads, and it's time to move to. Are you ready, Martin?
Now, are you sure it's me this week? You're not going to try and say it like last week?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I could steal it.
You can have a try if you want.
Here you go. No, I couldn't do it as good as you. Go on, go for it.
Loaded tune.
And the lads are getting ready to come on to the pitch.
I tell you,
here comes
this quiz.
here comes Matt. And here comes Ben from Apollo Junction. Welcome, lads.
Hello, you all right?
Guys, how are you,
lads? Hello, boys.
Too bad.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly fine. Yeah, absolutely. So, who was it that was eating?
Matt.
All right, Matt. What were you eating, Matt?
Right. Don't judge me. Just meatballs.
There's no judgment on that. Do you know what I mean? Unless you are a vegan viewer. Yeah. Go on.
I just come back from doing some boxing, so I was just like, got to get some carbs in me. It
could be as good. We had the Johnny Ash band on, and one of the lads was eating chicken nuggets and left his camera off for the entire show. didn't even come on and just answered quiz questions and chatted with the camera off. So that worked really well for us.
But terrible indigestion, but it's all worth it.
Look, we'll give you an easy time. So obviously, for those viewers who are tuned in, from us guys here at Loaded Football, we want to obviously welcome Ben and Matt from Apollo Junction, Leeds' finest, absolutely cracking band. I've been following you guys for a fair bit of time now since we've been running the shows. I got in touch very, very early on and asked you guys to come on. And I know there was a little bit of to and fro and working out dates and everything else. But in fairness, you guys have been incredible, retweeting for us and doing a whole heap of stuff. And obviously, there's a bit of new music coming out. And I've been pestering people this week to see could we get an exclusive and a whole heap of stuff. So I'm actually surprised you still fucking follow us, to be fair, because I've been a royal pain in the ass. But listen, welcome, lads. We're delighted to have you on. The music is absolutely brilliant. We've got a handful of tracks there tonight. And I think, Daz, when we'll talk about, we've got one of your biggest French followers online this evening with us. We did spend a bit of time last night. We were trying to get her to come on live and chat with you, but she was so nervous and so freaked out. She didn't want to come on. So she is watching tonight. There you go.
Shout out to Sylvie.
Sylvie. So she's watching.
Yeah.
Absolutely besotted with you guys and has been tweeting us for the last 2 days since she knew you guys were coming on. So we will give her a big shout out. But anyway, welcome to the show. We will operate, we're fairly laid back, so we will throw some questions at you. So what we'll do is I'll throw a few questions at you. We'll play a tune. We'll open it up to the boys and to the viewers. We've been obviously promoting you guys as obviously Leeds' finest. So we will talk football a bit in a while. But I suppose give us the lowdown on from you guys on Apollo Junction. How did you guys get together? How long you been together? You know, what's going on with the music and stuff?
Apollo Junction actually started. You've got a good. I think this is the first time just me and Matt done an interview, and we've said this in interviews before, but it's not a fairy tale. Like, we actually met at college, in the computer room, and we actually he sat next to me. I thought, oh God, who's this guy? And he had the same trainers on as me, same trainers. So. They weren't Sambas. They weren't Adidas Sambas, but
they were they were like Bruce Lee style ones, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I've probably still got mine. I'm a right type, you know. Anyway, we get chatting about the same shoes, and it turns out we were both listening to the same album, which was What's the Story, Morning Glory, and Casting Your Shadow, and that is on my life. That is exactly how we met. And then once we started jamming and rehearsing, we got Jamie, and then, you know, we just sort of got a mixture of, we kind of touted people from other bands. So Jamie from a band, Johnny from a band, Sam from a band, and we formed Apollo Junction that way.
Very good. So how many years are you guys together in full now as Apollo Junction?
I think it's about 6, is it?
No, I think it's longer than that, mate. I think about 7.
Oh, I was so far out. I can't believe it.
Yeah, nothing like being pulled back in for incorrect data.
I was going to say.
So one of the things we've been chatting to bands about in particular is obviously, you know, pre-COVID and post-COVID. Obviously, what were you guys doing before COVID hit? Were you guys like, what was the world like for Apollo Junction?
Honestly, we just released the first album and we were about to tour it, and we had a load of really good dates booked, and then it happened, and a lot of people have had it a lot worse than us, so we're not complaining, but a lot of really good dates got cancelled, but thankfully they've all happened again, so we're playing a lot of great dates. Got the Kaiser Chiefs, obviously we're massive fans. They're from Leeds, we're from Leeds, which is great. We got a few loads of other gigs going on, and then we've got our own hometown show in November, which is going to be amazing. That's nearly sold out now, so which is lovely because it shows that people are sort of coming back to music. But we took the whole lockdown thing, and it was Ben, and you know, obviously I hate to give him any credit, but he said, you know, he said we really need to turn this into some sort of positive for us, and rather than, you know, getting too upset about it. And actually what we did was we wrote the second album, we recorded the second album, and we've hammered the social media, and, you know, we've really tried to interact more with our fans, and we've learned a valuable lesson that, you know, we need to do that, and we won't ever go back from it now. You know, we reply to every message, we talk to our fans, and, you know, we've learned that from what's happened, how important our fans are, and so we've kind of made a bit of a positive out of it. And actually the band's, you know, it's grown so much and it's taken up so much of our time, and the idea of having to spend the summer and then the winter in a van with Ben is absolutely horrifying. But we're very lucky, and we do have the. I know that every band says this, but we are lucky to have the best fans because they believe in what we do, and we'd be nothing without them.
Yeah, I think we had Deco Band on last week, and I kind of I tend to kind of ask the same questions to get the flow going. And one of the things they said with bands was, what COVID's done is it's kind of leveled things out because nobody's been able to gig, nobody's been able to leapfrog each other, nobody's been able to get one-upsmanship or get a gig that somebody else didn't get, and vice versa. So I think you're right, Matt. COVID's kind of been a bit of a leveler for everybody, in that everybody's been stuck. Nobody's been able to get out or do anything. So there's been nobody from a band perspective, I suppose, really getting a leap on anybody else. And I think the other thing for me, to pick up on your point about the social media, I've obviously we started this show up, and we had kind of said, we love a kind of soccer EM type vibe, cool bands and music, and like I love Oasis, and kind of looking for the right vibe and everything else. And we started tweeting bands going, hey, we've got this show, we've done 2 shows, would you like to come on? And in fairness, you guys came straight back. And I went to the lads and I went, fucking hell, lads, these have got like over 10,000 followers on Twitter. Like, they've actually responded to me. And it's like, the interaction from my perspective, all the tweets and the DMs that I've sent you boys, I have to say massive, massive thanks, because you've been on top of it for the last few weeks, and you've always responded, you've retweeted, you've kind of pushed us. We've done the same with you guys. So listen, massive thanks for us as a gang that is starting out, that you guys have really helped push us on. But it's been, the level of interaction has been second to none. So I must thank you very, very much for that.
No worries.
Well, you know what?
Irish blood, we're like, yeah.
That's it, pal. That's exactly it. I'm only a blow-in, but I'm here 20 years now, so I'm halfway there.
I'm 100%. I'll take it.
It made us, Twitter's made us realise that we are all in this together, and it's not just an old cliche thing. This lockdown thing has really made us realise, what? There's a community here, an online community, and that's what we've built. We've got our own online community. We were part of many, and that's the thing. And I'd say that to any band. You've got to interact with fans. You get these bands, and there's many bands out there who follow my personal Twitter and then unfollow it in the hope that I'll follow them. You know what I mean? And all this, and it's bands who look cool with, but we're just normal lads. We're good people. You know what I mean? And that's why we do what we do.
Cool. No, that's brilliant. Look, I think what we do is we're heading towards 9 o'clock there. So what we'll do, I think, Daz, let's throw a tune up. We'll get a few questions from people, and then we'll talk a bit more music. But we do want to get to this chat about Leeds United and about this apparent letter that a certain Marcelo Bielsa sent you. And I hear that you guys sent him a few goodies and he responded back. So let's play a tune, and then we will get to all things Leeds United and a bit more music. So Daz, let's. What have we got?
So we've got on the ropes. We're going to play, lads, and this one I said we dedicate this one to Sylvie because actually great help in retweeting and everything the last few days. So here's the tune. Excellent, lads. Well done.
Blinding tune, boys. Blinding. Now, music-wise, you lads have a new single coming out shortly, which is Light Up the Sky. So when is that out?
The 9th of April.
On the 9th of April. And is that off second album?
It is, yeah. It'll actually be the opening track to the second album.
Opening track. And when's the album release, boys?
What do you think that, Ben? We've still got songs to record, haven't we? We've got to finish it, really, and then we'll make it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, we could release it in about a month if we wanted, but no, we couldn't. That's complete lie, because Matt is right. But we kind of wanting, and we are looking for just other, members of the team to come on board, so we can really, really get behind the album, because we believe in it. We don't. We want the next album. We're going to go for charts. We want to give it a go. So it's just a matter of getting the whole team around us, if that makes sense. And I'm confident we'll get it out in the new year, or maybe at the end of the year.
Okay, cool. And who are you guys? Who are you guys with record label wise?
We're with a label, Leeds-based label, for our vinyl releases. Go through a label called Shedload Records, which is really cool indie label that's growing. It's just signed another couple of bands. And then we have distribution deals and publishing deals for all the other things that go out. But the actual vinyl release, so, that thing here, that goes out through Shedload Records. So
okay, cool.
Cool, yeah, I'll probably be talking to your record company soon when I'm trying to avoid a strike and we're playing it on YouTube. It happens nearly every week.
Yeah, cool with stuff like that. They're really cool. And do you know what? We could have had, and they won't mind me saying this, we could have had a bigger label. We could have, we've turned it down because the guy who runs the label, Mick, cares about bands, and he puts the band first. And there's not many people in this industry that do that. Yeah, and that's why I love with him. So it'd be totally cool with stuff like that.
Cool. And I've obviously, from living in the UK earlier, I've been in or around Leeds. Part of the video for Light Up the Sky was that, I think that was filmed at the Mill. Was it at the Mill studio?
Yeah, the Mill in.
Yeah, there you go. See, a little bit of research and a little bit of looking around. Yeah, I spent a good bit of time between Leeds and Wigan working for a few years, so I do know a few things. England are drawn 1-1. There you go. But look, what we'll do is I do enough yapping on this section, so what we'll do is I'll open it up to Daz and the rest of the boys to ask a few questions, and then I think we will. There is a bit of pressure on you lads tonight because you are going to be the last band to go as part of this season's loaded quiz, and obviously the guys from Deco Band probably didn't do you any favors last week by topping the leaderboard. But we'll see what we can do tonight. But lads, any questions for Ben and Matt on all things music, and then we'll have a chat about Leeds, Daz, and their very close friendship with a certain Leeds manager.
Yeah, all my questions are around Leeds and football related, to say the truth. Actually, no, it's not music related, but I'm going to throw this one. I want to know, how did this come about, lads?
Hi Matt, 11 Apollo Junction. Keep up the good work.
We know him. We know him. We've seen him before. He's a good golfer, isn't he?
That's what comes about, actually. Yeah. So my very good friend Daniel, his cousin, he lives in America, and he's this golf professional, right? And he's a massive Spurs fan, and he's from England originally. And somebody came up to him and said, you need to. I've got somebody coming over. You're going to play a bit of golf with him during the summer. He played for Tottenham. Would you be interested in doing it? And he was like, yeah, definitely. So he sat there, and then Gareth Bale walks up. Anyway, that video is actually Bale on his private jet, and Ollie was because he threw a friend of a friend, and then he asked who it was, and he said, "Oh, do you know it's my friend's cousin's band," and he said, "Oh, I think it was Paris, wasn't it, Ben?"
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's my awesome bass line.
Yeah, of course it is. And he said, "Oh, it's this," and he said, "Oh, let me send him a message," because he's just the most sound, nice, down to earth guy. You know, we sent messages back and forth to him, you know, saying thanks very much. Ben and I did one together, and yeah, he's just the nicest guy, really. Just really down to earth, good guy.
just play it down, Matt. Just play it down.
Like, no, I mean, like, he's a legitimately very, very nice man.
Cool.
But
It's great to see stuff like that.
Yeah, it's class, that. Yeah.
And it's nice to think that he took a bit of time to do it, and he's not just done, you know, he's not, you know, he's done it because he likes it, and it's nice, you know. It means
yeah, no, it's nice.
It's mad, really. Barmy, you know, you get that from Gareth Bale, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
So can you see him turning up at Leeds next season?
I asked him.
Looking for a club.
Yeah, I asked him on one of we had this like video chat back and forth, and I said to him, you know, time for Leeds, and we've never heard from him since.
Yeah. We, as Newcastle fans, we don't really have a lot to say about Leeds because you've turned us over twice, so we can't really. Yeah, there's not a lot to say, lads.
I ain't saying no comment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Lads,
Richy,
do you have any musical questions, lads? Richy,
I wanted to say actually to both of you, congratulations for this could be the day that was played on BBC. What was it? BBC won the Syndicate last. Was it yesterday? Was it?
Oh, yes, yesterday evening.
Yeah.
I have a second bit to that. What time did it actually get played at? Because I missed the result. Because I did.
Do you know what? I got drunk watching it because I was so happy. I can't remember it happening.
I went kind of 21-36. I thought it would be in the middle somewhere. So,
yeah,
I think you're right. I think it was about there. It's the way they don't tell you a lot. They tell you it's going to feature, and we've had this before. Like we were once on some. Oh, I don't watch it, so I'm going to sound really bad for it. We're on this morning on ITV with the played Bomb for Now once, but they only give us like a few minutes notice. And so a lot of these things on mainstream TV, we've noticed that they don't really tell you unless it's happening, and they don't tell you where you're going to be, how long you're going to get. We just know that you're going to get played, and for us, it's great.
I'll tell you a big example of that was Match of the Day, right? So I'm sat in bed watching the rerun of Match of the Day, okay, the Sunday one, Match of the Day 2, and it was when Man United drew with Liverpool 1-1. I think it was last season. Adam Lallana scored like a last-minute equaliser, and I'm sat in bed watching it, and it's the end of the programme, and I think I know this song. And then into the riff from Born for Now, I'm like, that is our song. And friend Mark going, you didn't tell me you were going to be on Match of the Day. I was like, no, I didn't bloody tell you. I didn't know. Text all the lads, and everyone was like, nah, bullshit. What are you talking about? I was like, no. Sorry. But I was like, no, seriously. Yeah, amazing. So,
do they tell you about that? Do they arrange that with like management, or they just pick that out and run it? Or
we genuinely did not know the Match of the Day one. And here's another one for you. We got played on Radio 2, like debut by Graham Norton. When Graham Norton was at Radio 2, his show was massive. I think it was the biggest, most popular radio show at the time. And I'm in garage with a Ford Fiesta that had gaffer tape on the bumper. And I'm sat in waiting room. And I thought, he's talking about Apollo Junction. He's literally just said, this next band at Apollo Junction. And he's looking at this picture in front of him and he's going, yeah, I like him. I'm not keen on him. Anyway, I'm going to play this song. And I was like, oh my God. So I said to the mechanic, that's my song. And the mechanic said, no, it's not. I said, I watched what he said, but he said, if that's you on there, then why are you driving this?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's the reality of the music world, man. But it shows they've got good songs, do you know what I mean? It shows that they can write mainstream songs. So,
exactly.
Yeah, no.
Question there, lads, from Donald here. Which bands have you been influenced by?
I mean,
you mentioned Oasis already.
Yeah, Oasis is one of our favorites. I'll do a couple of sort of mine. I'm sure Ben will fill it in. I mean, as a group, we're more into songwriters. So like people who write good songs, whether that be Daft Punk or whether it be New Order, you know, like it's all about who can write a good song. Genre-wise, I think we kind of fit the kind of like, we all love Oasis, the Beatles, Pulp, Blur, that 90s sound, that 60s sound. Ben's going to take this on because he's more into soul-y sort of stuff, and I'll leave that to him. But I would say we're obsessed with songwriters, really good songwriters, like Paul Simon, people like that.
Okay.
Ben, my friend.
Yeah, no, that's a fair one, you know, and I think we'll put the Killers in there for like a modern thing. I sort of call it like Killers meets New Order, but production-wise, we do love U2. You know, we listen to U2 religiously. In the studio, we want to get the feel that Eno gets when he's with U2, you know, just some sort of epic moments in every album. Yeah, I love my Northern Soul and Motown music. So we've got, when you're in the, if you're in ever tour with us, we have a song on Spotify and we pass it round, and it's so random. You know, you'll have like a Toots and the Maytals reggae song blasting out, and then you'll have some of that Burt Bacharach's written, you know, and it's completely random. So we do have influences from all over, but yeah, I stick with New Order and Killers because they have a unique sound.
That's a good mix. Yeah.
Can I just? Cool. Whoever Keith Roll has just nailed it on the head. Fans of unbelievable. Somebody's worked out.
When you mentioned the boxing, yeah, I thought there could be a link there, and when Keith put that in. So nice one, Keith. Well spotted.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay.
We were in a pub in I think it was Shipley, called the Junction, and we were sat around. We liked Junction, and there's an old Glenn Miller song called Tuxedo Junction, but we liked Junction, and then we were like, but we love the Rocky films. We're like Rocky Junction, Clubber Junction, Lang Junction, Apollo Junction, and they just. But I've worked this out now because I've got my story right. I've got this. When we formed Apollo Junction, it was kind of at the back of other bands, as Ben alluded to, and we were almost coming to a point where we were like, I think we're just going to do this for fun. You know, we're not going to really do much more with it all. You know, we've been in it before, and then we wrote. Like I say, we wrote a few songs, and we were like, wow. I mean, we wrote a song called Pictures, amazing song. We're like, we're pretty good at this, and we better take it seriously. And when Rocky fought Apollo, he was at a crossroads, wasn't he? He was at a crossroads in his life, and he went and fought Apollo, and it made his career. And he was at a junction in life, wasn't he? He was either going to carry on being a debt collector down by the docks, or he was going to
kick on. Yeah, exactly.
That was his Apollo Junction, and this is our Apollo Junction. You see, there you go. I've made.
Do you know what? I will say this: in 11 weeks in, that's the best band name story we've had.
Yeah,
it's very deep. That's so deep.
And do you know what? It's very us because we've thought about it. But that sometimes, as a band member, it feels like a weakness that we think. However, you put that into our music, and every song we've ever put out has got on the radio. So it just goes to show that if you think, you know, and we're so precise in our music, and even the band name, you know.
Yeah.
Detail. Can I just confirm? 3, 1, 2, 4, Balboa 5. There you go. That's
there you go. Hey, what these boys do? These boys know their shit, does.
Yeah, I actually thought it was the score in the England game.
Do you know what,
I thought has another goal gone in? Why wasn't Chris telling me?
Oh no, I mentioned that before. Martin mentioned it was 1-1.
Yeah, it's 1-1. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, Stones with a howler apparently.
Oh mate, it was shocking.
Let's see. Yeah. Chris, any questions for the boys? What do we, Daz, we do? We take a few more questions, or are we going to play another tune, or are we going into another quiz? What are we doing?
We have a couple of football-related questions we want to go with as well. So,
we need to talk about Bielsa and the letter.
Yeah, we talk about that now, or we go for a tune?
Let's do that. Let's talk about Bielsa.
So, lads, okay. So, explain this.
Well, if you give me a sec, I've got the.
Oh, have you got the letter?
I have, because they wrote it to me.
Oh, look at that!
Nice one.
Right, wait
Nice
up.
Oh, Ben's gonna have to get the letter. He's framed it.
It's framed.
Don't blame him.
Do you know what, man? What? Die Hard.
But I wonder if I can flip the camera so you can get a proper read of it. I don't think I can. Oh, one sec. No, that didn't work.
Oh.
Right, so basically it's on selfie mode, so you won't read it properly, but I'll stick a picture up of it on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I'll read the first two words out. Dear Ben, there you go. It's on my phone there tomorrow. And the rest of the Apollo Junction band, thank you very much for the album you've sent me. I can imagine how much effort and dedication there is behind that. I like the handwritten letters, the detail, and your drawings. They're courtesy of Matt because he just loves drawings on the record. I'd love to wish you many successes in the future, and thank you so much for sending this and for being a part of our club's success. Kind regards, Marcelo Bielsa.
Nice one.
That's massive.
Lads.
Well done. Nice.
Well, when the record label gave us 5 complimentary albums, okay, and they said, right, send them out wisely. Don't send them to Dave down the street. So I took 2 actually. I took 2 to Thorpe Arch at Ellen Road, the training ground, and I gave one to Liam Cooper, the captain, he's just tweeted now about us, literally like in the last couple of hours. And one to be also thinking, well, whatever,
No harm, no foul.
But I thought, well, it's worth a punt, it's worth a go, and it worked. And I've been saying, God, my Uncle Jerry, if he's listening, he took me to my first game when I was God knows how old. So to me, it's like, wow, it's a big deal. And that is getting famous. And the fact it says Ben, I'm like,
It doesn't say band, it just says Ben. So if
that
fails, you've got something to
a copy each, but
but it's got my name. Yeah, exactly. I'd be like that with these lads when we get famous. What are we going to do? Are we going to throw up a tune, Daz?
Yeah, I think we will.
And then, what have we got next? We'll throw up another tune, and then we'll get into loaded quiz because the pressure is on these 2 lads now tonight to seek their top. I mean, you do have to get 17 points out of 17. So look,
100%.
No, you need 100%. But look, you know what? I'm sure there might be a little bit of help on the way somewhere. But look, let's get another tune up for now, Daz. What have we got?
We've got Sometimes. Let's go with that one, lads. Another great tune,
boys.
lads.
Can I say, when I started to research you lads, listen to a couple of the tunes, that song was the first tune that I listened to in full on a walk. I did about 10, 11K down the riverside where I live, and I put that song on, and it must have played about 3 or 4 times as I walked along. I think it's absolutely brilliant song, and I've been listening to a bunch of your tracks ever since. So, but that was the first Apollo Junction song that I listened to pre-shows, and I think it's one of the best out there. So, fair play. We did get a question in, Daz. I didn't know if you saw the question from. Go on.
From Daniel.
From Danny. Yeah.
Danny boy. Yes. See, I've been keeping this question, Martin, because this is actually from my. Yeah, it's from my brother-in-law. Future brother-in-law. Future brother, I should say.
Oh, okay. Well, that could change.
My sister as well. Yeah, shout out to my sister Jennifer. But yeah, so this is the question from Daniel. Favorite players to have played for both Newcastle and Leeds?
Oh, James Milner. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Great shout.
Should never have sold him.
Must be Woodgate play for both.
Yeah.
Woodgate, great call. Yeah.
Is this a quiz question? Hold on.
No.
There are no extra points.
But it's not a point.
Yeah. Somebody did mention Alan Smith.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think Milner's got a bit of one, hasn't he? You know.
I bet you Chris actually has this as part of the quiz, don't you, Chris?
You know what? I don't actually. I don't. It's the first time it's happened. It's not included in the quiz. Well, certainly them 3 names aren't anyway. So
Mark Viduka, there's another one.
Yeah. We never saw the best of Viduka. Never saw the best of him, but he was great at Leeds.
Do you know what? I where my family live, right, is in Wetherby, right, which is kind of not far from the training ground. And when that team, like with Davey and Woodgate and Bowyer, and they all lived nowhere near where I lived, but not too far away. And
Bowyer, there's another one.
Yeah.
David Batty.
Legend.
We got Lucas Davies' phone bill once, you know.
Did you?
Hopefully that wasn't in a letter and Ben's framed it.
Honestly, and I was young at the time, and I thought about taking it to school and trying to sell the numbers, and my dad caught me.
Quality.
Do you know what? Matt, you've just reminded me, right? Did you sell them numbers, or did you get caught?
Oh, my dad caught me, and he was
because when about 50, I got hold of Rio Ferdinand's phone number, and he played for Leeds at the time. I was ringing him all the time. I was ringing him, and then it was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing?"
That's what changed him.
Yeah. He's not really a fan's favourite with Newcastle fans, to be fair, at the moment, with some of his recent comments, Mr. Ferdinand. But anyway, that's a completely different story. Christopher, it must be time. Is it time for the loaded quiz?
I think we'll run out of radio space if we don't start with the quiz, I think. Yeah.
We will, yeah. We will, yeah.
So over to you, Chris. Are you ready? Oh, he's frozen again.
Oh, do you know what? I haven't even got the questions. I haven't even got the questions.
Okay,
he times it to perfection every week, doesn't he?
I know, every week. Do you know what I mean? He's a fucking cheapskate. I wish he'd upgrade his broadband.
Jack Charlton. Another connection.
Have you
He's going to reboot
the Finding Jack Charlton thing yet?
I watched it the other night, and I put a load of tweets out. Like those that know me, obviously, I come from Newcastle originally. I've been in Dublin for about 21 years now or so. So it's one of the Daz will laugh. It's one of those things when I go home, when I'm in Ireland, I'm an English prick. When I go home to England, I'm an Irish git. So, you can't win either way. But I watched it the other night. Obviously, there are huge links between, obviously, Ireland and Newcastle United. Obviously, managed Newcastle, fantastic player for Leeds. What I found with it was one of those, there were so many joyous moments on it. If you are an Irish football follower, let alone when he was playing, But from a point of obviously, being part of the England World Cup squad and then managing Ireland, probably I would say, Daz, for us, probably some of Ireland's best memories. Obviously, World Cup win against Italy.
Yeah,
he had so many fantastic memories, but to watch dementia set in and him lose some of those memories was heartbreaking, really. But the thing that really got me, and I tweeted it earlier in the week after I watched it, was he was in the kitchen with his missus and he was watching a video of when they were in America or wherever it was, the World Cup, and he was watching himself on the video, and the wife asked him, do you remember any of this? And he was, no, I don't, I don't even know who that is, kind of thing. And then right at the end of the show, obviously before they put up the piece about him passing, he sat at the table and the Blade and Races Newcastle song was playing, and the arms went up and he started to sing it lyric for lyric. And I just thought it was so amazing that this dementia had set in. He couldn't remember some of those glorious memories, but he could remember that Newcastle song as a Geordie, word for word. And I just thought it was so poignant and so sad at the same time. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, get online, go and watch Finding Jack Charlton. It is an amazing watch. Amazing.
I've heard that. I've heard he didn't have a close relationship with Bobby, which I thought was.
A lot of years they never spoke. Even up to his passing and stuff, they never spoke. So quite a. The other thing that is really interesting, I know we will get to the quiz because Chris is putting another 50p in the meter and his kid's pedaling on the power meter. One of the interesting things was there is another documentary, I think it was on BBC Two, that Alan Shearer did about dementia, the onset of dementia in footballers. And a lot of it is linked in particular to older footballers. Jeff Astle was the first player that was diagnosed with inset dementia, I think it's called. And what the study did, they did a study up in Edinburgh University, and what they found was it was actually, a lot of it they believe was caused by some of the older players back in the kind of 60s and 70s heading the ball, because the ball obviously was a lot heavier back then. So when it got wet, it was like heading a cement brick.
That's what my dad said. That my dad said,
yeah,
boy, the ball used to go up, and you used to think, "Oh shit, I've got to head this now." It wasn't like like you go up. I mean, I hate it. Anyway,
crazy stuff. But there is some fantastic. But Shearer's documentary really does that, and they do a load of study on it. It's actually really good and links into the Jack Charlton one. But very good if you haven't watched it. Chris, you're back.
Back
right. Time, Chris.
Boys.
Here we go. This time, now you're on. Go for it.
Okay, it's loaded quiz.
Thanks, Chris. And we go straight to the leaderboard, Chris.
2-1 England, by the way. Just want to mention that. Last 5 minutes, they've just scored. Harry Maguire. Okay, boys. So, loads of quiz. So, last week, we had Deco Band on, and they ended up being top of the leaderboard with 16 points. So, as you guys will know, you've got a big score to beat there. Second, we've got the Institutes with 15 points, equally with the Underclass. In joint fourth, we've got Moonlight Parade and the Johnny Ash Band. In sixth, we've got Sam Lambeth. In joint seventh, we've got Jace Campbell and the Pacemakers. In ninth, we've got Phil Charletta. And lastly, we've got Apollo Junction. And I'm right in saying this, aren't I, boys, that yous are the last segment of the quiz until we do a brand new one.
Exactly. That's right, Chris. We're going to go with a new quiz and a new kind of format. We'll make a few changes just to kind of freshen it up. But over to you, Chris.
Okay, right, boys.
No pressure, boys. No pressure.
Yeah. So I'll go through the housekeeping first of all, boys. Okay. So we've got 14 questions and there's 15 points up for grabs, and there's no timer. And as you Apollo Junction lads are from Leeds United fans, obviously I've kind of based it around, there's a few Leeds United questions in there. So I hope that you'll feel comfortable when I ask the questions. Okay, so let's start off with question 1. Which club did Leeds manager Marcelo Bielsa manage in 2017 before joining Leeds in 2018?
Right, we've got a choice here, Matt.
Go on.
He was at Marseille for like a couple of days, I think.
Yeah. Then he was at
he was at Lazio, wasn't he?
Then he went back to France, didn't he? Wasn't it? It was Lille, wasn't it?
Was he at Lille? Because I know he was in France.
I-
Because he was keeping friend and but he was so hit and miss before he came to Leeds. He had a couple of days, didn't he, at the club, and then he walked out. Or was it Lille when he walked out?
I'm sure it's because he went Lazio then Lille. I'm sure it's Lille.
You go with Leo, boys?
Okay, go for it.
Oh, sorry, what were you going to say, Dad?
No, I was going to ask, do you want the help of your French fan on this one, who's still in the chat?
Oh, is she a lifeline? No. Actually, I won't use the lifeline just yet.
No.
We'll Lille.
Okay, you go with Leo. All right, boys. Okay, so the next question, number 2. What shirt number?
Find out the answer.
Oh no, I'm going to reveal that at the end. I'm going to reveal that at the end, boys.
I'm
Gonna keep you waiting.
For ages.
Keep you waiting. Right. So question number 2. What shirt number does defender/midfielder Stuart Dallas wear for Leeds?
Oh, Ben, you got to know this. I don't know
I think it's 20 or 19. I'll go with.
these. The numbers there, aren't you? It could be 20. It could be 9.
It's an
Range.
unusual number. It's an unusual number.
Oh,
Maybe 29?
are you sure?
No.
I don't think it's 29. I don't.
Do you want
Do you know what?
Do you want help from the panel? Can the panel
Before
help
before
you?
this quiz started, I thought Ben would be absolutely up for it, but now
No,
I'm
it's
starting
well,
to think I'm not so sure.
I don't.
If you added those two numbers together, the first two numbers you said, would that help? Chris, do you think?
The first 2 numbers they said.
Yeah, together.
Yeah.
As
I
Ben
genuinely
frozen.
don't know.
No, that's not good. Okay.
I don't know. Come here, I don't know. I'll go with. Well, go with 19.
Is that your final answer, boys? Yeah.
I don't.
It'll
Think,
have to be. I don't know. Go on. Yeah.
Okay, move her on, Chris.
Okay. Right. Question number 3. Europe is separated from Africa by which sea?
I thought it was about football.
No, it's a mix. I throw a few football in, but then we do a mix, bit of general knowledge.
Oh, for goodness sake. Is it maybe the Mediterranean?
Will it be the Med?
Yeah, it'd be the Mediterranean.
Okay, boys. I'll take that as your final answer. Yeah, we good?
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Ben has a map in his house there.
I reckon Matt's going to know this. Definitely. Matt's definitely going to know this one. Right. How many pounds are there in a stone?
Oh. Matt, well, is that final answer? Is it 14?
Yeah, I think it is.
Are we going with that, boys?
Because I'm.
No, go on. It's 14. It must be 14.
Yeah. Why was
Okay.
I can't work it out now. Why must it be 14?
Because.
Yeah, it is 14 because I've been. I'm not going to say.
And when you stand on scales, you're like, oh, X13. Oh, now I've gone up like loads of X's.
My scales, I moved them to kilograms because it upset me too much having 12, 13 at the end of a number. So.
No, I'm sure it's 14.
Yeah,
because you're like, oh, touch stone that. Oh, no, I've gone up a stone when you want to put pounds on.
Yeah.
So you go with 14, boys.
14.
Okay, boys.
Yeah.
Right, so there's 2 points for this one, lads, okay? And it's non-football related, this question. There's only 2 letters in the board game Scrabble that are worth 10 points. Can you name those 2 letters?
I think. Oh, Matt, what do you reckon? I reckon X has got to be one of them.
No, it's not. It's Q's one of
Oh,
them.
you're a Scrabble fan. Well, used to be.
It'll be Z. It'll be Z and Q.
Don't remember. We used to play it at uni.
No, we didn't. We got drunk. Z and Q.
Yeah, that's a much better rock and roll story, I must say.
Scrabble at university.
Headline tomorrow. Headline.
Yeah.
Okay, boys.
Elsa
Next
wants
question.
Elsa wants his letter back.
Okay, boys. Next question, number 6. Can you name me Disney's first ever film?
As if like Steamboat, whatever it's called, that one. When with like Mickey Mouse's Steamboat thingamajiggy, what's it called?
Yeah. Matt, we got the soundtrack. Remember, and we were dancing to it.
Yeah, it's Steamboat something.
And it goes, "Do your lads have hot dogs?"
Oh yeah, this isn't annoying. I'm trying to think about it, Ben.
Hot dogs.
You know what? I keep thinking about the Simpsons Steamboat Itchy, and it's not Steamboat Itchy because that's the Simpsons. It's Steamboat.
It could well be Steamboat Itchy, depending if you went to Mallorca during the 80s.
No, it's Steamboat. it's Steamboat. Steamboat Willie is the first one. But do you? Yeah.
I'm going to give you a clue here, boys, because I get where you're coming from with this Steamboat thing, because I have read that somewhere. But when I was doing this quiz, I've come up with a different answer, and when I've Googled it, it is still coming up with that same answer. So it's a popular. It's
the original.
I think I know it.
Snow White. It's Snow White. The original Disney.
Snow White. Yeah. Because when I was a kid, I had the VHS tape, and on the extra bit, there was some like really old guy drawing it.
I once got taken by my mum to see Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, while everyone else got to go see The Mask. So, thanks, Mum.
All right, boys.
Snow White.
Great.
Let's take that, Chris.
So next question, number 7. How many times has Andy Murray won Wimbledon playing men's singles?
Twice, isn't it?
Once or twice, maybe twice, because first time it was like, oh yeah, I've witnessed it, and then it was like, oh yeah, he's won it again. Oh no, hold on. Did he win the Olympic? He won the Olympic gold, and that was a big thing. And he won that Wimbledon.
He's won the Olympic gold. I think he's won the Australian as well.
Oh, that's the only one it won. Oh, this is what.
Won 3. He's won 3. He's won 3 Grand Slams. 2 at Wimbledon, and I think it was the Australian was the other one.
US.
Okay, boys. Okay. Next question. Who did Leeds beat in the quarterfinal of the 2000-2001 Champions League?
The first thing is Anderlecht, but now I'm thinking, was it AC Milan?
I believe you got knocked out by Valencia in the semis. Before Valencia.
Valencia were knocked
and
down.
You won 3-2. That's a clue. You won 3-2.
Being on the spot like this.
Oh, wasn't it Deportivo, mate?
Deportivo. Yeah, it was.
It was because it was 3-0 in the first leg, and it was.
And they wear a purple kit, don't they?
In the second leg.
Purple kit.
I've got to say, boys, you're flying here. You're really doing well. Okay, so question number 9. The Pittsburgh Penguins play which sport?
Ice hockey.
Matt was just
straight in there. Look at that. Straight in there.
You knew that one. Next question.
Okay.
That's why I brought you, Matt.
Sorry?
I brought you on this show.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Question number 10. How many valves does a heart have?
2?
Wait there. Pulmonary.
2, isn't it?
No, it's way more than that.
Thank God I'm not a surgeon.
It's like that, isn't it? The heart. It's 2 up here and 2 here. So it'll be
yes. Let's go with 4.
Because it's like that.
Okay, boys. I like it.
Because you've got like 2 main things, haven't you? The AL, something else. 2 in, 2 out.
When Homer has the heart transplant, I'm going through that.
Okay.
We've got some very strange logic.
Question number 11, boys. Who was Henry VIII's last wife?
Catherine Parr.
Boom.
I can do them all if you want. Do you want to do me to do them all?
Catherine Parr?
Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Jane Anne Cleves, Catherine Howard, Catherine Parr.
Good man.
Matt wasn't always drunk at uni.
No, I was busy playing
Scrabble.
Okay, question number 12. Who presented TV quiz show Blockbusters between 1983 and 1995?
Bob Monkhouse, wasn't it?
No.
Oh?
His name was Bob, but it wasn't Monkhouse.
Oh.
Because he looked nothing like Bob Monkhouse. Right, let me get this right. He had these big glasses.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah. And he wore a suit.
Yeah, thanks for that.
And he
Bob.
was super old.
Bob.
Can I have a pee, please, Bob?
Yeah.
Bob.
Do not Silver.
Panel, do you want to help them, lads? Do you want to give them a hand?
It wasn't Bob Monkhouse.
Holness.
Okay, boys.
Got your mouth go with an H. Yeah, Bob Holness. Yeah.
There you go.
Well done, lads. Okay, question number 13. In golf, where does the Masters take place?
The Masters.
Well, actually, Matt, maybe it's got somewhere with crocodiles because YouTube, they like walk towards an alligator.
Isn't it the US Masters?
It's in the US.
Florida?
Yeah.
No, not final answer. Is it Florida?
No.
No.
No, it's not the final answer.
It's the one with that Amen Corner or whatever it's called.
Starts with an A.
Augusta.
Let me know, Matt. If that's right, I'll buy you a pint.
You won't buy me a pint. You're tighter than a
If that's right, Ben, you're buying all of us a pint.
I've got to go. I've not seen a bit.
Is that the one with Amen Corner? The one that's like meant to be absolutely impossible to do.
Is Augusta also not the one with the par 3 that goes over the water where you've got to pitch her in from up a height and into the water?
No, it's not that. I know which one you think. That
That's
was last
Sawgrass.
One of the, yeah, Sawgrass.
Sawgrass. There you go.
Okay, so final question, boys. Which former Chelsea midfielder managed Leeds between 2006 and 2008?
Go on, Ben.
And there's a little Newcastle link in there.
There is, yeah. It was Dennis Wise. He relegated us as well. Oh, wait. Pause. It might be a good point. Let me look at it.
I said the same as you. I did the same as you when I was to 2008.
No, right. Poyet was his assistant, and then he took over. Poyet never actually took over.
No, it's mad, isn't it? I thought that. Yeah. It's the other way around, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that Poyet was clearly the brains behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Right, boys. Yeah. Well, I've got some good news. So out of those questions, you've managed to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Boys, you got 14, and you've still got the bonus question to go. The only question that you got wrong was the shirt number for Stuart Dallas. He wears number 15.
15.
Oh, I love Dallas to bits, but I don't really look at his number. I just watch his football. So I'm not.
Okay, boys. Now this one. So this is the bonus question for 2 points, and it'll draw you top of the leaderboard. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Right. Okay, boys. So for the bonus 2 points for this question, okay. And this is a tight one, by the way. Who scored more goals for Leeds? Was it Jermaine Beckford or Luciano Becchio?
Becchio was there for longer, wasn't he? But
you'll be surprised how close this is.
Oh, I know it's close because Becchio stayed for a couple of years when Beckford left, and then he started hitting them in.
I'll tell you now. One of them scored 86, and one of them scored 84.
Oh,
that's close. It's close.
Okay. I think we should go for Becchio. I think he was there longer. And you said it. It's the first one you said. Definitely, I think go with that one. Because I just think you said it first.
Because they were banging him in Championship, even when we had Neil Warnock, I think. I remember him scoring the penalty, and Neil Warnock were in charge. So he stuck around for a while after Beckford.
And also,
Beckford only had 2 seasons,
I think Beckford's the red herring. I think go Becchio.
You going Becchio, boys?
Go on, then.
Joint top leaderboard.
Get in there!
Well done.
Well done, lads. Well done.
I'm not competitive.
Say what, I've got to make these questions. That's fantastic.
Well done. Joint
well
top.
Done, boys. Yeah, joint top.
You get to share the trophy with Deco. Congratulations, lads.
Well done, boys. Well done.
To be fair, Daz, we've got to do what actually some of the other bands said. It has to go in alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order.
Yeah, Stu.
Yeah, we have
so Apollo are top.
If that is the case, then Apollo Junction finish the season in top spot and take the trophy, which we don't have, but we will sort something out.
Yeah, we'll have to sort something out for the lads.
So well done, boys. You finished the season of the first ever season of Loaded Quiz.
Have you seen Ben smile? He's more happy winning this trophy than the letter off Bielsa.
Yeah.
What we will do is we will get a letter drawn up that the four of us will sign somehow, and we will send it to you, Ben. We will put the leaderboard in it, and we will all sign it, and we'll send it to you guys, and you can frame that or do whatever you want with it. Put it somewhere safe. But there you go.
I think we'll have to adjust it to Matt, though, won't we? Matt was hitting some out the
park.
We
will, yeah. Matt was
straight
in. He did, yeah. That was amazing. Right, Daz, what have we got?
We've got to move on, lads, because we are seriously running out of time. Sorry, Matt. Yeah?
I was going to say this is a secret, but I have actually been on a quiz show before in the past. So.
See, now they kept that quiet.
Good.
They kept that quiet.
And as were you, Ben. Ben, you were really good as well, mate.
Yeah,
as a duo, you worked well.
You don't need to pass it.
Right, Daz, what's coming up?
Nice one from Julie, actually. Year supply of Avon for the winner.
Daz, there is a little link there. Did we not sent something earlier on about that?
Yeah, we did, actually. We've a contact in Avon. This guy.
Oh, God.
Unleash your inner boss.
Unleash your inner boss.
I'll tell you what, honestly, I want a contract out of this. I really do. I really, really do.
Lads, we're going to miss our radio slot here because we've got like 50 minutes left. So we're going straight to 5 minutes each. Richy, give us the intro.
Loaded 11.
Nice one, Richy. I'm going to fly through this, lads. So
very quickly, sorry, Daz. Just for the boys, Ben and Matt, you guys are more than welcome to hang around with us, or if you've got something on, you can shoot off. If you guys want to stay around for the next 15 minutes to the end of the show, we're going to talk through Loaded 11 and then let everybody know what's going on the next show. So you boys are more than welcome to hang with us if you want.
Well, I'm going to skedaddle, but thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
Good luck with everything, and please have us on again soon. Please have us on again to defend our title. Yeah,
we will do. Absolutely. Listen, boys, absolute pleasure having you on.
Thanks for coming on, lads.
Keep pushing. Keep in touch with us, and all the best, lads.
Have a good one. Thank you.
We'll play out with your song at the end as well, lads. Thanks, lads.
Cheers, boys. Enjoy.
Cheers. Bye.
Hey, boys. Bye.
So, lads, let's.
Great set.
The quality is right.
Fucking Messi, whatever.
Messi won this. So Messi, Chris has someone in the dream team. Messi from last week. He goes straight in there at the right winger slot. Apologies to anyone listening on radio. We have a nice little collection there of building a dream team. So, Chris, I'm going
to be fair.
It is a crack team.
Yeah, it's superb
quality.
Imagine that as a team.
Chris,
right, come on, let's rattle on, boys. Let's rattle on.
Yeah,
this is for attacking centre midfielder.
I am conscious of time. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And I think all the viewers at home will know why I've picked this player. So I am going for, this week in central attack midfield, Steven Gerrard, MBE. Okay. So, boys, the man...
you had the MBE bit for?
I just had to. Well, that's his name.
That's his name. That's why, Martin.
That's his name. I'm not lying.
He lives next door to him.
Ask the Queen. That's his name. Right. Oh, Daz, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that picture, mate. Okay, the man, the myth, the legend. As you all know, I had first pick this week, and some people will say I'm mad. Some people will say I'm mad for picking Gerrard, and I know he's a Premier League player, which I got a lot of stick for off the lads. But Stevie G was one hell of a player, which I'm sure you'll all agree. And also, another little fact about Stevie G, he's also been lucky enough to meet me twice in person in the pub.
Ah, that's the connection. That's why. You love so much.
That's one of his big accolades. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to talk very briefly about him. Okay. So Steven Gerrard, he's 40 years old now, and he's currently a title-winning manager with Rangers. Born and bred in Merseyside, he spent his entire career with Liverpool, followed by a very brief stint in America with LA Galaxy. 748 club appearances and an incredible 191 goals, all from midfield. 114 international appearances with 21 goals, which is pretty good. He's a 2 times FA Cup winner, a 3 times League Cup winner, a UEFA Champions League winner, a UEFA Super Cup winner, and a Super Cup winner. Okay. And let's not forget, lads, he single-handedly basically won Liverpool the Champions League that year. And the reason that I've picked Steven Gerrard, I'm just going to wrap it up now. He can play in various positions. He could do it all. He's personally one of my favourite players growing up. And he was just a proper captain. You know, he really led the team. And I'm a big fan of Gerrard. And, you know, I don't admit, mind saying that. So that's why I had to pick Steven Gerrard.
It's a good call. And he's a fantastic player.
Exactly, he was a great player, and I've got a little clip for each of us this week as well. So here's your clip, Chris.
I did enjoy that as well, by the way. I did enjoy that. For all the viewers at home, that was Gerrard slipping. By the way, what I absolutely loved about that was the irony of the fact that he got everyone in a huddle and said, "We do not let this slip."
Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen anything like that.
To be fair, I had to put a proper clip in.
Wow.
A free kick.
Yeah.
So, Chris, I'm going to see your Stevie G and raise you Pele. Pele. Do I need to say anything here, really?
No, you may as well just stop.
No, dude. Right, Richie, you're next.
No, I go for it. Okay, Pele, the Black Pearl, the king of football, the King Pele, the king. All-time everything. A goal per game. He's now he's now 80 years old, not 30. The King of Kings. I'm gonna most successful top scorer ever. Career total of 1,279 and 1,363 games. Basically a goal a game. Won the World Cup 3 times. Leading Brazilian scorer ever. 77 goals in 92 games. Played as a forward and attacking centre midfielder, playmaker. You see, interesting things. The Brazilian government in 1961 declared him an official national treasure to prevent him from transferring out of the country. I've quotes from Cruyff, I've quotes from Beckenbauer, but I'm not going to go into them. I'll take too long. He's won everything. And any team he played for, he won. So I give you Pele, and here's some of the little stats on him as well. I've mentioned, of course, the player of the century, and I have my little clip as I'm trying to run through this really quickly.
Rapidly,
my clip.
yeah.
His best goal ever in the film Escape to Victory.
I mean, the defender in front of that ball really needs to have a word with himself, number 3.
Oh,
what a goal. Yeah. Quality.
Well
Sylvester
done,
Stallone with no chance.
He was in the other goal. He was in his own goal. Martin, I think it's over to you. And your selection is?
It is, yeah. I went with the Spanish midfield kingpin, Andres Iniesta. I'm not going to run through all the stats, but I mean,
what a player.
Two club player. Individual stats: 8 La Ligas, 4 Champions League, 5 Copa del Reyes, 3 FIFA World Cups, 3 UEFA Super Cups, 6 Spanish Super Cups. The 436 games, 63 and 38 is actually incorrect. It was actually 674 appearances with 57 goals. He also played for Vissel Kobe when he left Barca. He went to play in Japan. And then obviously Spain from 2006 to 2018, 76 appearances and 131 appearances, 13 goals. However, one quick stat I will throw in, the 2015-2016 season for Barcelona, he created and passed the ball 3,116 times with a 91% passing rate completion. The highest stat ever recorded in football. Unbelievable. So, yeah, that's my shout. Cracking player. So, yeah.
And Martin, you're getting a little gif as well of Iniesta, a bit of skill here.
Nice.
From Iniesta.
Oh, yeah.
He's just taking the piss, lads. Look at that.
Yeah. Superb.
Great player, lads.
No, I think we'll head over to you, Richie. I think this is where the real battle is. But yeah, go for it, Richie.
But once again, Daz, we know it's not a battle because already the viewers have realised what you've done. You did a Chris Hall and you did a Kevin Keegan again from last week. You put a striker in number 10 in attacking midfielder.
No, we did raise this.
Striker.
We did raise this last week, Rich, and you know we got fairly done out by those two muppets above us on the picture here.
Yeah,
I can't believe you're questioning Messi right wing when he played right wing.
No, we did go lean and we did say we'd let you get away with it, didn't we?
The Pele one, I'm agreeing with. I'm agreeing with you.
He played
you want Pele?
There is a very simple answer to this, Richie, which is Daz will do whatever it takes to win. He doesn't give a shit
to win
about where they play. If they've had one appearance for 30 minutes, but they fit that team, and he can make a nice slide and wangle that in, he doesn't give a shit where that goes. No. So there you go. Right, Richie, come on, let's rattle.
Especially when, as we mentioned, and it's already been picked up in chat, when it's Liam O'Brien. Actually, no, I joke, it's not Liam O'Brien. It's Diego Armando Maradona. There's so many superlatives you could say about this one man. I know he's tarred with that brush for the hand of God and stuff like that for that one, but you've got to look at all the fantastic things he did within the game. In 491 senior appearances, he scored 259 goals from an attacking midfield, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is.
He scored 34 international goals and 91 caps for Argentina. And you're going to say this is corny, but he pretty much single-handedly won the World Cup in '86 for Argentina. He did single-handedly win it for them, didn't he? So, honours-wise, he won the Copa del Rey, the Copa de Liga, which is actually the League Cup that's now non-existent in Spain, along with the Cup with Barca. He went on to win the Serie A twice, the Coppa Italia, the Super Coppa, and the UEFA Cup with Napoli. He also won the World Cup in '86, obviously, but he also won something called the Artemio Franchi Trophy, which is now known as the Confederations Cup. He was European Footballer of the Year. He's won the Ballon d'Or. He's won the South American Player of the Year twice. He's the only player to have won the World Cup Golden Ball, Silver Shoe, and most assists in one single World Cup, which is a feat in itself. Obviously, he's responsible for two of the most infamous goals in one game. The hand of God and then the 60-metre genius of a goal afterwards.
Oh.
But once again, Daz has to do the hand of God because he's trying to get a leg up for Pele, isn't he?
You know what?
No.
You know what? I will tell you something, lads, right? And there, in many a football game, people will argue about goals, right? And people will see teams that win a game 2-1 and they'll go, well, it shouldn't even been a penalty. It doesn't matter because they scored a second goal. Maradona did what he did. The hand of God, there's no denying, even he's admitted it, it was horrendous. It just so happened to be England. If it was any other team, you probably wouldn't care. But it happened. However, to coin Richie's piece, he then went on an 80-yard run, ran past 7 players, put Terry Butcher on his backside, and slotted past Shilton after he rounded him. There is no denying that goal, which, to me, made that game.
Which is why that goal was voted the goal of the century for the 20th century.
Maradona
and also,
gets
to correct that as well, Pele wasn't awarded the FIFA Player of the 20th century. He was jointly awarded.
Yes.
With I get your facts right.
I saw that, Richie. And Richie, for getting the facts right.
Saucer of milk at table 1. Saucer of milk at table 1, please.
3-1, Richie. 3-1. 3-1.
Yeah, but
World Cup wins.
If you want to pick on that one, the Brazil team for those 3 World Cups were phenomenal. As I said before, Maradona won that World Cup single-handedly. And just to finish on, right, that nothing as any other players done, Maradona is the first player to have 2 world record transfer fees when he's been sold. There's another interesting one for you.
Yeah. Boys, getting chatty this now. I tell you what, just for the crack next week, I'm taking the boys on. I am putting Sean Wright Phillips in as a striker.
That'll go to the poll. I think it's time to talk about what's coming next week.
We're rapidly running out of time.
Richie, run us through this one.
So on next week's show, we've got the normal loaded headlines, loaded leaderboard, loaded tune with special guests the Out Charms. We've got the new format loaded quiz, with also new dreams according to Chris. So I'm dreading to think what that means. Will we have a mystery guest? Who knows? Next week we get down to the first pick of the loaded 11 all-time strikers.
Wow!
You can follow us on Twitter at LoadedHQ1, Instagram at Loaded Headquarters, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Loaded HQ, which is www.youtube.com/c/LoadedHQ to like and subscribe for free to get all the fantastic LFW. I'll get my words out. Back catalogue, but also to all our fantastic new shows, which will be coming out in the near future.
Perfect. Nice one, Richie.
Nicely done.
I think it's time to round it up, lads. And I just want to quickly run through because we are coming to 10 o'clock UK time, Irish time here. So just want to let everyone know about a few upcoming shows. We've got Loaded Mag, the first ever episode is on Friday at 8 o'clock. You'll find that in our YouTube channel. There's also another special coming up on Saturday at 8 o'clock as well. Loaded Mental Health. So tune in for that. That should be interesting as well with the boys. Also, lads, you want to give a shout out to anyone listening back to this on radio and also to our new partners, Away Day Radio. We'll talk about more about that next week, I think, lads. We didn't get time to go into it in detail, but we'll give it more of a shout out next week and to that one. And anything else, lads, you want to mention?
No, for me, obviously looking forward to Load Mag on Friday. But in particular, I am looking forward to doing the mental health special with my good colleague there, Richy. We've got Jamie coming on as well. And Josh Barnyard as well is coming on with us. And we're going to talk all things around men's mental health, mind, body and soul, and the stigma that is fellas being able to sit in a group and talk about not being right. So on the mental health, I'm going to put a tweet out later on, lads. If you are out there listening and you do want to come on that show and you want to have a chat about any issue around men's mental health in general, the stigma that is men's mental health, get in touch with me and Richy. We will bring you on the show. You can have a chat or you can send us a DM on anything you want us to talk about. But I think that's a fairly prevalent show in what's been a particularly tough lockdown that we are coming out of. So I'm looking forward to running that on Saturday with Richy and talking to Josh and Jamie about all those things. So yeah, for me, that's it. And have a good night. Thanks to Apollo Junction. Great show again, lads, as always.
Yep. Well done, everyone. And thanks to Apollo Junction for on. And thanks to everyone in Avon as well. And our representative, Chris. John Justice Jones, Alan didn't see it, so I had to put it up for him. I think it's time to play out with another classic from Apollo Junction. It's Borderlands.
That's it.
See you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Take care, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Take care.